The Germans are holding a strong defensive line just behind the beaches that the Allies will invade on D-Day. Now, some of them seem to be precariously positioned just along the abyss, but in all seriousness, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Ancient Warfare 3. What we're gonna have today is when you have a strong defensive line protecting the beaches that you're gonna invade, guess what? It's time to drop some paratroopers! Alright, so we've got 3 epic maps to check out today. Now, I'm gonna obviously save the best for last, but right here, this one is called World War II Airborne Drop. It's by Mr. J, and look at that. See, that's what you wanna see. When you're thinking, oh man, how about a big airborne invasion? Well, how about it? It better look like this. There better be so many soldiers up in the air that anyone on the ground is pretty much just gonna like freak out, or maybe if they're a little smarter, they would grab the nearest anti-aircraft gun and start shooting. Like this guy. Now, he has only got a bolt-action rifle, so basically I'm actually gonna be playing as one of the German soldiers here. I've gotta tell everybody, the Americans are coming, Hans! Hans, get your musket! I mean, your rifle, Hans. Why are you using a musket? Hello, Jerry. I mean, hello, Fritz. So look at this, man. Can you imagine what it would have been like to be the Germans and all of a sudden... Oh my gosh. I feel like some of these bolt-action rifles should kill them in like one go. These guys have semi-automatic rifles. Once they hit the ground, this is gonna be bad. So I need to drop as many as possible. Oh god, now I gotta do long reload and they're shooting me in the chest. We gotta... Oh, you know what? Here we go. There we go, we got the M1. Oh, what are you doing to my face, mate? Jeez, he was right there. All right, so I've got a semi-automatic pistol, excuse me, semi-automatic rifle here. And we're gonna see if we can't hold out against this just massive airborne invasion. Oh God, we're reloading. Oh no, I dry fired. Okay, so let's check out the position. The houses, the barracks area was overrun by massive paratroopers, man. Like, so during World War II, right, before D-Day, like literally just before D-Day, the Americans dropped like a ton of like their elite airborne soldiers behind enemy lines, and the objective was to disrupt the reinforcements that would come from the mainland of France to the beaches that were defended and being attacked. Sorry, somebody was calling me, and whenever someone calls me on the phone and I'm recording, it always throws me off. I'm like, wait, what was I talking about? Because I've already got massive ADHD. Look at this guy. Speaking of magical powers, what, do you think ADHD is magical powers? Look at this guy. He's literally hovering and just mowing these guys down. So actually, yeah, I think they've got a good chance. Let's see if that wave can break this guy, which it doesn't look like they're doing. Hold on. I gotta shoot this guy. There we go. Now we can overrun the rest of the positions, and I've got a decent squad. But yeah, so American airborne troopers landed behind the German lines right before D-Day, basically to disrupt the reinforcements that the Germans would send to the beaches to repel the invaders, right? And then also to basically take key locations, cause disruption, confusion, destroy strategic targets, all in an effort to make the amphibious landings on, what was it, the 4 or 5 beaches of D-Day successful. Or all the more successful, so that once the Allies took the beaches, they wouldn't be repelled back into the ocean. Alright guys, so here's the scenario. This is in the Pacific theater of World War II. I have been tested, or you, if you play this map, because it looks really cool. I love just kind of the foliage or whatever. Like, look at this. See, here's like what? A nearby, like maybe rice paddy or farm, even though it's definitely wheat. I would like to imagine it as like a rice paddy. And so we've got this forward operating outpost here. And you can see that all the soldiers are armed with World War II era rifles. We've got the semi-automatic like M1 Garand. We've got the Browning automatic rifle. We've got some Thompson submachine guns in here. We've also got some Colt 1911s, which we, like, okay, so here we go. This is the Thompson submachine gun, right? This is the M1911. We found bullet casings from this in yesterday's treasure hunting video. We basically went around with a metal detector, and it was awesome. We found, like, all these, like, ancient World War II era bullet casings. We found a legendary musket that is from the American Civil War. But right, so basically we're gonna be controlling the Americans here, and we're gonna be attacked. All right, gentlemen, just another sunny Tuesday out here on the front lines. Now, we're a little bit kind of out for it, and oh my god, the Japanese are coming. Oh, look at that. Got some ammunition. That would be good. I've got my Colt 1911 here. Gentlemen, don't fire till you see the whites in their eyes. We need to defend this outpost if we are overrun. I love these base defense maps. This should be a lot of fun. Now, most of them will probably be armed with bolt-action rifles, the Arasaka, I would imagine. They may have some semi-automatic and automatic weapons, but I think for the most part, the Japanese pretty much use Arasaka rifles. All right, gentlemen, I'm seeing the whites in their eyes. You may open fire. Oh my god. Okay, so what's this? Can we grab... Ooh, picked up ammo. Nice. Alright, I want to hear the BAR rat-a-tat-tat. They're flanking us on the right. They're pushing in the center. It's a bonsai charge. Oh my god. I've got to hold up this area. They're freaking overrunning, and like the left side of my defenses are pretty much down. And for some reason, like, you can't really hold down and just let the Thompson crackle. Crackle? Or snap, crackle, pog, man, because like there's just the kickback on this thing is just goofy. And like we're definitely taking shots. I'm down to 50% health. This is not doing well. I'm gonna try to get a BAR, but I'm thinking we're overrun. Oh, okay. This is what overrun looks like. I'm gonna try to distract them. So it give the last, what, 2 surviving soldiers of mine? See, this is what I think Ravenfield needs in a way, is certain AI will only shoot when they're a certain distance away, right? Because in Ravenfield, they'll like shoot really far out, and sometimes it gives you this, like, it just feels unrealistic at times when you're getting shot across the map from like, sometimes I've been shot like by a shotgun at like an absurd distance. And yes, it's theoretically possible, but it seems far more likely to happen in a game like Ravenfield, as it would say, in real life. Or maybe a more realistic first-person shooter, right? Oh, I fell off the map. All right, so what we need to do is set up some defenses here. But did you guys see that today is the 2-year anniversary for Totally Accurate Battle Simulator releasing as open alpha on Steam? All right, boys, so we're back. I adjusted the defense. What I did, actually, was we got some machine gun 42s, the MG42, aka the buzzsaw for the Jerry's. Where? You're supposed to... Where are you going? What are they... The Germans are retreating. My 3 MG42 men all decided to run away. What are you doing? You're supposed to defend the front lines. I'm gonna take this gun, soldier. And now they're just dying on the barbed wire? What? What is going on? Now I've got to use this MG42 because my teammates are idiots. All right, so they push through the left, right? So I need to get on this left side and post up. This guy's got a BAR. Gosh, the fire rate on this thing was so ridiculous that they'd often have to have multiple barrels, like extra barrels nearby, because it could fire so fast. It would fire faster than like any other gun I'm pretty sure during the war that was mass produced, and it would fire so fast that the barrels would overheat. So the way that they mitigated it was they had like literally people standing by with giant like oven mitts that I think were made out of like asbestos material, which is kind of funny to look back on. And gosh, we're out of ammo. I'm gonna have to go get another MG42 from the back, but I'm stuck on the lunch chairs, and there's not even any tuna sandwiches. All I ever want is tuna sandwiches, but all they ever have is egg salad. But yeah, so they would replace the barrels and swap them in and out to keep them cooled. And the MG42's despawned. My base is overrun. Literally, this is a disaster. All right, so we're gonna see if these machines... Oh, wait. They're not doing it this time. We've got... I also put in a mortar. I put in an RPG guy because there's no bazooka, right? And I wanted us to have the opportunity. I also put in some grenadiers, and for some reason they're all deciding to walk around the base. And that means that most of these beautiful defenses... I'm gonna fix this. So check this out. Sometimes you just gotta have a stopgap measure. So what I decided to do was put these barrels to block the way, as well as delete a number of the barbed wire, and if they decide to go this way, I'm hoping that the barrels keep them from just immediately derping out, because it looks like half of the army and most of the new reinforcements, including a lot of really good tech. What are you marching this way for? Oh, I guess the fence, right? Let's see, do these guys immediately go on the barbed wire? Because if they do, like, The AI needs to be smarter in this game. By the way, there's going to be an update. Oh my god, don't walk in front of the mortar when it's about to fire, Jimmy. There's going to be an update on December 1st, is what I was reading for this game. It's going to be like one of the early access, right? And then they're actually going to have one right before Christmas. I would imagine in the past he's added, like this is a single developer, and I don't even know how old the person is. I think they're a really young kid. So it's actually like really cool to see, like a young kid just go out there, make a game, sell a bunch of copies, and continue to give it time and continue to update it and support it, right? That's a lot of maturity. There was a really good game a long time ago called Unturned, and it was largely built. It was built for free, so you gotta give them that caveat. And then it was abandoned. And I've actually seen a lot of really good games abandoned. So to see Ancient Warfare, this is the third iteration of it, right? And there's Ancient Warfare 1, Ancient Warfare 2. I'm pretty sure I came in... Was it Ancient Warfare 2? Alright, how's this mortar going? Because we need some serious... Where's those reinforcements? I swear they probably died on the barbed wire. Yeah, let's see. Look at that! There's an RPG! I'm gonna pick it up. Alright, we're gonna reload. Look at this. This guy's got like... Son, get out of here. Alright, there's the enemy main army over here, so we're gonna run around the smart way. But yeah, the AI needs to be updated. I'm not sure... Oh look, there's only one left because they're running on the barbed wire. But... that's a victory! Alright, so now the map I'm most looking forward to. Ladies and gentlemen, living in the United States of America, I have bad news. We were invaded by the Russians. Look at this. This is going to be absolutely freaking absurd. This is so well made of a map. It is so detailed. The map maker, who is Dexstar, must have spent literally hours because there's so much detail. It looks like a regular neighborhood, right? You've got houses, they've all got fences. Some of them have like chain link fences. I think we even have like electric fences over here. Maybe there's some Easter eggs lying around, right? Who knows? And this battle is just massive, and we're gonna check it out. Because basically, the scenario is this. The Russians have successfully made a beachhead in the United States of America through a surprise invasion, I would imagine using container ships as troop transports, and also dropping some serious airborne Spetsnaz and special forces to basically paratroop into the land, right? So we've got to defend this? Oh my god, it's gonna be chaos. Now, after they established a beachhead, the main forces were... Oh yeah, look at this. Okay, so we've got a pretty nice M4. Looks like some of the enemy Russian attack choppers are going down. They are freaking out. They're blowing up. We lost our airborne support. Now, we've got some M1A1 Abrams tanks. The Russians have what? Are they like T-95s? They've got like the new ones, which are just like beasts. You don't want to deal with that, man. Russians have always built good tanks. Like ever since World War II, man, which was really the dawn of like tank warfare. All right, so I want to spectate this. Like, look at this, man. I'm actually kind of curious who's gonna win this. There's pieces of the town flopping up everywhere. That means some high explosives are being used over here. Looks like these Russian forces are moving in. They're all checking their corners. We've got an Abrams tank in the back here. It's got a 50 caliber machine gun. It's got a soldier up there next to it, which looks like a saw, which I think uses the NATO 5.56 round. And man, it makes you wonder, like, how do you think? Here we go. This is the question of the day. I want to know. I want you guys to like write your scenarios, your ideas of like, how do you think if like the scenario is this: World War III started, right? How did it start? Because like some people are like, oh, North Korea fires missiles. Oh, the Russians invade. Oh, Chinese invade, or like the Americans invade, or like, you know, North Korea, South Korea, or the Spratly Islands in the Pacific. There's like all kinds of just wild scenarios. Or like, you know, the war that in the Ukraine just breaks out and it spreads to other areas. Here we go. This tank is stuck. See, this is the one issue with, not the one issue. That guy actually died by being run over, and the tank is literally trying to fly right now. Which, by the way, Russian tanks are great. But as far as I'm aware, there's none that can learn to fly. And this is one of those things where, like, the map might be too populated. Oh my god. Look at that. The buildings are just falling to pieces, which is nice because there's this physics. But overall, the AI of Ancient Warfare 3 is I really think the one thing that holds it back the most. And I would love to see an update for that, so that we could really move to the next level in our sandbox battle simulator. So right now we've got an Abrams versus the Russian T-95. Both the gunners are down, like, I mean, the machine gunners on the top. And it looks like the Russian tank is victorious. Now, there's still the Humvee in the back, and does he even have a driver? Because it is, look at that, it's stuck. It got stuck on a hill or something, and it just can't move. All right, let's see the air battle from the beginning. All right, so, oh my gosh, they're just dropping massive shells. There's a bunch of, like, Allied RPG soldiers that were, like, in these houses that popped out and snuck up and disabled a lot of the Russian tanks, basically to slow down their advance. And you can see that there were a bunch of Abrams tanks right here, but the Russian tanks and Russian, like, infantry support just dominated it. So this looks like it would have been just a massive breakthrough again by the Russians, because you have to think that under the scenario that the Russians successfully pulled off a surprise invasion of the United States, that it would take a while for, like, the National Guard and other, like, army elements to kind of mobilize and organize in such a way that they could pull off, you know, an adequate defense, because it would definitely take a while, and this is under the assumption that the Russians were organized and had their, like, objectives in mind so that they knew what to do, they knew where to go, and they knew how to execute that. But right now, man, it's just not looking good, so I'm gonna say that I need to check out this World War III series. Like, this is a series of maps. And that's what's cool about the Ancient Warfare 3 Steam Workshop, is a lot of map makers, very talented people, have put a lot of time and actually made, like, maps that play out like kind of would you'd see a campaign in any other game, right? Like, you could play missions 1 through 5, right? And it's kind of nuts to think that. But I really think that while Ancient Warfare 3 is, like, the best sandbox, and what I mean by sandbox is, like, the idea of a sandbox is you go in and you get to build whatever you want. That's basically what we're doing here. We have, this is the best sandbox. It's better than Tabs, it's better than Ravenfield, but what it's lacking in is, I would say, AI, but also a close second would be, like, the dynamism of the soldiers. Look, this guy is just casually walking. These soldiers need to be able to run, need to be able to duck, and I think that plays into, like, maybe more AI. Look at that, M1 Abrams taken out. There's just the Humvee. There's a few M1 Abrams here, but honestly, this would get to the point where, like, you never really see it in video games. I think the only video game that really has kind of like a routing system, or like where soldiers will, like, get scared and run away, is the Total War series. And it'd be cool to see that, but, like, honestly, like, the American radio chatter right now would just be like, everybody retreat! We're getting our butts kicked! They stole our hot dogs! And it's just like, they would be bugging out, man. All these tanks would be fleeing at high speed, and M1 Abrams can move at high speed to basically reroute with some other soldiers and live to fight another day. Because the Russians have armor superiority, infantry number superiority, and they're just coming in right here. But this is kind of a cool scenario that we would see, you know, if, like, or you could imagine a World War III starting. So once again, I'd love to get, like, your ideas and thoughts on, like, how you think World War III could start. What's the most likely way it would start? So anyway, guys, thanks for watching another episode of Ancient Warfare 3. I'll see you guys in the next video. Happy Sunday!